Welcome to Finding Your Higher Consciousness. I'm Coach Cary. Today, it's my absolute pleasure to bring Nathan, the tarot card reader. And we had such a great time with this podcast. We decided to do another one. So, Nathan, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to see you again. I've been looking forward to this. And for everybody that got to look at it, first one, thank you for tuning in and checking it out. It's doing amazing things, man. Brother Carey's doing amazing things. And like I said, thank you for having me back for part two. Very excited for this.
My absolute pleasure. So, first of all, before we dive in, for anyone who didn't catch episode one, can you give a short version of who you are and where you are now?
Yes, my name is Nathan Lange. Go by Nathan. All social medias is Nathan Tarot Reader on YouTube, on TikTok. I will get on Instagram, all that later on, but those are the two main ones. I am a spiritualist all the way through. I am here to help people. I help people that are struggling with afflictions, either from mental afflictions, could be physical afflictions. I help teach. I help teach how you can shift from a lowered negative vibration or frequency into a completely higher frequency of embodiment of your higher self. And when you do so, when you start to heal, when you start to enact the actions that are needed, life absolutely changes for you. It's not just a maybe or a theoretical or a hypothesis or a fable. It is in your face validation of look at what you have done because you believed in you, trusting in a source of your higher power.
Thank you for that, Nathan. Hopefully that catches people up. And please go back and watch episode number one if you have not watched episode number one. When you talk about your guides, Nathan, what does that mean to you personally? And how did that connection first show up?
So when we talk about spirit guides, everybody hears about spirit guides or angelic guides. A lot of times people go, well, do I only have one? Do I just have one this whole time? Do I have more than one? Is it my loved ones? Is it angels from heaven? What are our guides? Is it ancestors? What could it be? Animal spirit guides, right? Multiple different things of what it could be. When I talk about my guides, I like to know them as a spirit team. One, it's a team that I have behind me that is way higher power of anything that I am that guides me fully. My guide specifically would be Saint Michael, was my very first one that I ever worked with that came to me. Archangel Raziel, who is also known as the second of all knowing from source of the most high. He is absolutely amazing. He helped me a lot with transformation of myself, learning how to love myself, learning how to break from what I no longer need to hold on to. And then of course, working with another guide of mine was Archangel Raphael. I had those three with me from the very start when I started doing this. However, you can always have more than three. We have multiple times that you will have, you can call it frequency, you can call it an angel, you can call it a spirit team, whatever resonates with you that you understand. Whenever you're in certain parts in your life, you're trying to either heal, better yourself, step into new things, different guides, members of your team will be around you for whatever it is that you are needing at that time. A lot of things that I've realized when it comes in with spirit guides is people go, how do I connect with them? How do I do this? I call on them, but I don't see them. I don't hear them. How do I know? How do I know? And I said, okay, it's a very good question. I have the same thing. How do I know they're around me? So I would call on them, say, Michael, let me know that you're with me right now. Please let me have goosebumps from the top of my head down to my feet. We can all feel, every single one of us can feel. We can feel to a very extreme degree. And frequency is key to everything. Angelics are frequency. So if we ask for them to be able to feel, we will be able to feel. You'll get goosebumps. You might get cold chills real quick. Ooh, what was that? Validation for you. A lot of times we want to see. We want to see. I want to see them. I want to see this. I want to see this. But it's all through feeling first. Then it can go through and open up to others. Now, is it always that way? No. There are those that can see when others cannot. There are those that can hear when others might not. It's all different for everybody. It's all a correlation of frequency more than anything.
Someone listening right now who's curious but unsure on how to hear a guide or know if they have any, um, how would you help them learn to unlock that connection?
A conversation like we are right now. Archangel Michael, I just want to say I'm grateful and thankful for everything you've done for me. Thank you for protecting me in the weakest of moments that I was in. Thank you for being a light for me when all I knew was darkness. Thank you for allowing me to receive love when all I knew was despair. Thank you for everything you've done for me, what you are currently doing, and everything that's still yet to come. Everything through gratitude. Gratitude more than anything. Nurture that relationship, build that relationship. Same thing as it is relationships here in the physical. How do we make it better, right? You strengthen the bond by having that conversation, gratitude, humility, thankfulness, right? Same thing with source. Same thing with source, except they don't judge you. They don't tell you that's stupid, that's dumb, don't ask. What do you need? Ask and you will receive. The key that I've realized is this: a lot of people that have a hard time connecting with their guides is because one, when you try to process it through your mind, the mind is automatically going to go into a logical. This doesn't make sense to me. I'm not seeing it. Why? It must creates doubt. Doubt is the one thing that creates fear is doubt. And when you have that doubt, well, I must be wrong. I can't do this right. It's me. That right there cuts the connection. You have to have that. I know that I am connecting with something higher than me. It is not a question. It is not a maybe. It is a 100% no. And for a lot of people, that's what catches them up on things where they get hung up on. How can I, how can I believe in this fully if I can't see it?
What is something that helps you stay grounded when you're doing the spiritual work? Because we've talked about this, it takes a lot of energy and you have to be really careful when you're involved in certain situations. And I'm really learning a lot. So I would love to hear this answer from you.
So grounding, you can do multiple different things, right? You will have some people tell you need to do it through meditation. You need to do it through sound baths. You need to do it through crystals or stones or any of the sort. There's multiple different ways. What I personally like to do more myself, because with what I specialize in, especially with like what you do, we're around different people all the time, different vibrations, different frequencies, different moods, right? And we absorb it almost like a sponge. One of the things that I've realized in the very start that I've done is when I would start to get overwhelmed, when I would start to have anxiety, taking in everybody's, um, one of the affirmations that helped me immensely that I still do to this day all the time. I am love. I am light. I am strength. I am worthy. The I am presence. It's not just words. It's the beautiful thing about this. And this for anybody that's listening as well. If you are going through a rough time or if you have a hard time with self-love for yourself, self-sabotage, feeling you're not good enough, a failure, any of I was right there. I know exactly what that feels like. And I can tell you I'm now on the other side of that coin. And it's a beautiful thing and anybody can do that. The key is when you start to tear yourself down, or if it just starts to get overwhelming, just start absorbing in. It's like I'm starting to feel like mood shift. I'm starting to feel angry, or I'm starting to get frustrated. Any of that, right? Anything on the negative. Just take a minute to yourself. You don't have to stop what you're doing. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to visualize anything. There's none of this. This is just through frequency and intention. You don't even have to believe in these words that you're saying. That's a key right there. I want you all to understand. You do not have to believe your love. You don't have to believe your light. You don't have to believe your strength. And you don't have to believe you're worthy. You can think completely opposite of all that. All I'm asking you to do is just try that for a week. Say that to yourself when you start to catch yourself. Say that just for a minute. And then afterwards, tell me how much better you feel. Even if you don't believe in those words, the I am presence, we are the monad. You are the I am. I am that I am. I am one with the one. The one is one with me. Amen. You're connected with source. So when you're able to sit there and allow yourself to receive, I am love. I am light. I am strength. I am worthy. Even if you don't believe it, you're able to receive that. And then you're going to go, I feel good. What's happening? I don't even believe in these words. Why is this working? And then you unlock that frequency with it. It changes. So that's one way. Another way, I love being outdoors. So if you like being in the sun, why do you not? The sun is one of the most beautiful things to instantly ground you and root you. You don't have to sun gaze. I like to sun gaze, but let's say if it makes your eyes are sensitive, right? I don't suggest staring at a sun. Then, like, hey, my eyes hurt, right? You can use a candle flame. We'll do the same exact thing. Fire, the element of fire is all for cleansing, purification, recalibration. It roots you and grounds you instantly. Same thing with water. Water is huge. Water, not just taking baths or being around bodies of water. For example, this is something everybody can do as well, which will start to reprogram you on a whole molecular level, not just on a whole emotional molecular level. Water, you get 2 glasses, okay, 2 cups of water. And in 1 cup, you're going to fill it up and you're going to go counterclockwise with your finger in the glass for about 5 to 15 minutes. Counterclockwise is to reverse off anything that you are holding in that no
Mm.
longer serves. We are made of 75% water. Water is malleable. You can form it. What do you think we can do with the mind and the body? Yes. So after doing 5 to 15 minutes of that, the second step would be you have to have free flowing water. Create free flowing water. Well, how do you do that? What do you mean? How pour from one glass into the other glass? Free flowing water, back and forth. The more you do that, the more charged it becomes. The element of air charges it. While you are doing that, you need to, this is the key part, is your intention and how you state it. This is the same thing with prayer. When people sit there and they pray, and I'll get into that after this, but when you are pouring the water, okay, you need to set in, I am here, it is mine, I am receiving physical health, emotional well-being, spiritual growth. Done. It is mine. Same thing with I am receiving abundance. It is mine. I'm receiving it physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. It is done. You go through and you state exactly that. I hope I get this. Universe, creator, source, they do not deal with hopes. It is a definitive yes. You know it's yours. Claim it. If you don't claim it, you can't receive it. Same thing with also, I am no longer weak. I am no longer this old version of me. I am no longer a doormat. I am no longer what you think that I am. And going through and setting that with each one and say, it is done. I no longer have this as a part of me. And when you go through that, the last part of that is to drink the water. You will feel it while you drink it. You will go, this is different. Do that once a day for about 30 days. And you tell me what changes for you. Water is a key. Elements are the key. You are the key. That's the whole point of it. That will help immensely as well.
Hope that all the viewers were listening very intently to that because it was a magical. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
All right, you've mentioned the flame and
Yes.
and energy before. Can you explain what that means to you from an experience or awareness place instead of control or manipulation?
Absolutely. Because a lot of times when we talk about fire, destruction, chaos, the end of something, right? But what if I told you it's the birth? It's not an ending. It's a birth. It's a purification. It is a cleansing. You are the flame. We are all an infinite spark. Every single one of us have an infinite spark inside of us. We are the flame. They don't like to explain this because people don't have an understanding of it. However, when your flame is lit, what are you doing? You're illuminating. You're illuminating. You're enlightening. You are a bright light. The flame that I like to utilize, for example, when you see a flame like this, a beautiful flame, right? The flame itself can sit there, rise the flame, and this is holding it in my fingers, doing it. And my thing's blurry. But with the flame as well, the flame, a lot of people go, oh, don't put it next to you. The flame can be right here in my palm. As you can tell, it's not burning me. My hand is black. It's all through an energy exchange. Everything is through an energy exchange. A lot of times people go, oh, it's evil, it's bad. No. Same thing with water. It's purification, cleansing. The flame cleanses. It's the same way. It's whatever you are more drawn to. People go, I've always been drawn to fire. Always been drawn. There's a reason. It's a part of you to be able to one, root you, ground you, stabilize, and also cleanse. Same thing with water. Same thing with Mother Earth. How many times people go, I love being out in nature. I love going on walks through the mountains. I love being in Mother Nature. That's working with Mother Earth, grounding through the earth, right? Four key components: earth, air, fire, water. Me personally, fire has always been a part for me. And then also with that, I like to utilize the flame, not just for that, but on a spiritual aspect. I utilize it to communicate with my guides through the flame. You will have it, it will rise on itself, gives validations. It's always a yes for me, versus when it sits very still. The flame is, I utilize it for more than one thing. However, I don't use it for nefarious reasons. I don't use it for what people think, oh, it's black magic. A lot of people see a candle lit and they automatically go right into the mind of, you must be working or conjuring spirits or working with demons or doing bad things. It's because it's a fear of a misunderstanding. But when you're able to break it down and go, no, this is what I utilize this for. This is the reason behind it. They go, huh. So it's just a candle based on what your intention is. Yes, very good. It's just a candle. But what you do with it and the intention behind it is everything.
Do you think people are somewhat scared of the fire because what's the first thing that happens when you're a little kid?
Absolutely.
Don't touch the hot
Don't
stove.
touch the hot stove.
Don't play with the fire, right? So it's social conditioning to be like, that's gonna burn us, which is
Absolutely.
the absolute the complete opposite of what you're saying.
Yes. And also, when I went through the entire book of Enoch, which I've read numerous times, the book of Enoch, when he was taken up by Archangel Uriel, was taken up to the Father, was taken up to the heavens, right? Because this is when the fallen had came down, the fallen angels had created the Nephilim, and all this stuff was going on. Enoch was taken up, and when he describes heaven, it's not like they describe heaven now, where you see it's a pearly gate with white clouds rolling behind it. The book of Enoch, Enoch sat there and explained, I was brought up. I was on looking in, I was on a floor face first down, and I looked up. It is crystal columns upon crystal columns, the most beautiful crystals and the most beautiful flames. Heaven was flame. It was not what they were saying. There was portals of fire to be able to walk through to the most high. What do they make you think though? The flame all the time. Oh, that's hell. This is the abyss. Hmm. No, the intention behind it. Like I said, I've had visions before even reading Enoch. I would have dreams where I would be in this place that would be the most beautiful place, but it was all flames. And I didn't understand it at that point. But once I started to step into my journey of myself, and especially when I went through Enoch, reading it, I said, oh my, the correlation between all of this. And that's also why I started working with the flame as well. I learned that it's all interconnected.
How do you personally experience energy when you're working with someone?
So, for example, you sit down with me. Let's say that you're having a little bit of a rough day. You might be a little tired, might be a little exhausted, right? And this is in sitting down like this. Let's say I come into your life and I say, hello, how are you, brother? It's great to see you. And through just a text, through words, through seeing me, through voice, there's a transfer and a frequency exchange every single time, whether people know it or not. That's why, have you ever noticed that when you're around people, they'll tell you, I love being around you. You make me feel good, man. I don't know. I'm having a rough day. Everything's bad. But as soon as I'm around you, I feel amazing. Now, the question is, how do you feel afterwards, though? That becomes a question. Do you just take in what they are projecting outward and you absorb it and they take from you? That's usually how it goes because people do not understand transmutation or they do not understand the exchange where you're able to remain protected, remain grounded, remain rooted. But a frequency exchange is just like that. People, what is frequency? How? Just like that. Or, for example, let's say you go into an environment. Let's use Walmart. Okay. Prime example for everybody. You could be in a great mood. Day's going amazing, right? As soon as you walk through those doors, bombarding. And all of a sudden, you're like, I don't feel good. I feel sick. I have anxiety. Why do I feel this way? The frequency exchange. Frequency happens through people, through environments, big time, through spirit. And then the last one's animals. Animals are the one that when you receive frequency from them, it's always loving. That's why we have our pets that we're so drawn to. And it's almost like they know what I'm thinking. Everything is linked to frequency, but that is one of the easiest ways to explain frequency to people that they can understand is just know like when you go into a place and it feels good, you're feeling that energy of this is good energy. My body, my energetic field is saying you're safe. Versus when you go into a place or around somebody, right? And you get that feeling or you get that, I don't like this fight or flight response, don't ignore it. That's showing that you're around something that's in a lower vibration or something that's in negative frequency that you don't need to be around. That is your sign to just leave. If not, that's when people start to have problems happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you believe that animals are innately connected to the frequency?
Yes, absolutely.
Why are human beings not innately, or maybe we are, but the trauma of life has disconnected us? Could you expand on that a little bit?
When we are innately connected as well, just like animals are, the same type of source frequency, right? The difference is when from birth, the moment we are here until where we are currently, everything that we've gone through, things that were meant to break you, things that were meant to sit there and make you feel like you are nothing. The key is, do we accept that? I'm just a broken, fractured individual. People have done me wrong in life, so I'm going to become that reflection. I'm going to be this reflection, right? Or do we sit there and we understand the things that we've gone through change? Do we embrace the change? The things that were hit, people go, well, I was in really traumatic things with my family or this. Why would God allow this to happen? And I have the same questions when I was going through with my family, same type of thing. Why would this happen? Why did I go through this abuse and all these things? And my guys, my father's God, literally, my answer came to me. They said, my son, people have free will here. They choose what they are doing. They've lost their grace. They've lost their divine spark. There is no darkness without light and light without darkness. There is both. However, you are not a byproduct of them and you are not them. Everything that they've done to you, look at where you are now. Look at who you are now and look at what you have discovered. I said, okay, I can understand that. And I think a lot of times people have a very hard time with the easiest way is self-love. They don't love themselves. And when they don't love themselves, it becomes a byproduct of everything they've gone through. Then it starts to become into their relationships, comes into their career paths, it comes into addiction, it comes into all these things that are meant to keep you just stuck, done. And a lot of times people just accept it because they don't know, where do I start? Where do I start loving you? The easiest way to put it, hardest thing to do. It's easier said than done. It sounds so easy to do. Took me almost 36 years to understand it. That's where I would suggest starting.
I wanted to say that also the benefit of really loving yourself has so many positives in the fact that the negative, what's it going to cause? Illness, sickness, disease. What does that cause? That causes you to have medical bills that you can't afford to pay. And then you really feel like you're stuck. And I get that all the time from people. And that's why I'm saying, like, just really make yourself a priority. Just the same message that you're speaking. And
Yeah.
you can help them with those attachments that might be keeping them stuck. And that's
Uh,
such a beautiful thing, but so many people, they're stuck with their health problems and their money problems, and it's all so connected. And
yes,
that's what I will hope people are hearing. There is a way.
absolutely. And speaking of like illness and health problems, illness is a frequency. People don't understand that. It's a frequency. And if you're able to correlate or adjust, right, you have all ability of adjusting that frequency with yourself as well. I've had many people in my community, for example, there is a woman named Jen in there. She's absolutely incredible. This is a prime example of this. When she first came across me 3 years ago, she has Lyme disease. They said you have early onset dementia. She had a cane where she'd been through a lot, man, a lot, right? She no longer walks with a cane. She no longer has early onset dementia. Lyme disease is gone. Frequency. It's all through frequency work. And when people understand that and they grasp it and they apply it, you can change everything. I have degenerative disc disease. They diagnosed me at 21 years old. I'm 41. They told me by the age of 29, I would be in a wheelchair. I would need surgery. I need pain management, all of that. I have not done one thing, not had one surgery. I don't take anything. I have zero pain in my back. Zero. It's through frequency. And when we have an understanding of it and somebody's able to explain it and break it down in a way that they can apply, that's the key. You can give somebody an answer, right? Does it mean they understand it? Right. And if they don't, then it's just words, man. It's going to go in one ear out the other, even though it could be a key of all keys for them. If you're not able to break it down in a way that people can grasp it, it doesn't work. You do a great job of it though as well. Like I said, I've watched you what you do. You break down things to people that you don't dumb it down. You don't put it in layman terms. You put it in a way that people can understand and they grasp it. That's like I said, reminds a lot of myself. We just do it through a different lens, and it's amazing what you're doing as well.
Mm, I really feel that. Thank you for that, Nathan. Can you share an experience with someone that really changed how you see your work? I know you did just kind of touch on something with a story, but there's anything that just like really went, oh, like,
There's
I'm
been
sure there's many. I'm sure there's many.
there's um I'll go through two of them. I'll go
Okay.
through one that happened almost 3 years ago when we moved up to West Virginia. Where we were in West Virginia is we were on a farm, 200 acres, okay, which was 8 miles off the grid. No cell phone service, nothing. Like this is out in the middle of the Appalachian woods in the mountains. Right? And the Appalachians are very dark energy. It's one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. It is the oldest mountain range. A lot of stuff has gone on here. There's a lot of dark energy out here. So when I was out there, I had, and I document everything as well. I filmed this. I put this on my TikTok. It's on there somewhere, but there is a video, and a lot of people in my community have seen it. Um, but there was, when I was doing lives at night, people would see shadows going back and forth across. They would hear the footsteps on the patio outside. They would hear the voices all the time. It was very active out there. And I had to do a cleansing of the land. And what I had to do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Out there by myself. And I literally, did a protection circle. I did everything that I needed because I had to do this. And casting a circle by for animators, what's casting a circle? Casting a circle is a protective area that you stand in that is blessed, that nothing from the outside of that can come in and attack you. Um, and so I am sitting there doing what I need, and I hear this thing running through these woods right here, like well, about 200 yards from me, right on our land. And these woods, let me remind you, for everybody thinking, these woods are extremely dense. There's no running through this. There's no like you would have to have a machete or something to hack through this stuff. Like this stuff was very thick. This thing was crashing through it. It was, and I go through everything. I process everything logically of what it can be before going, this is what it is, right? It was running on 2 feet, 2 legs. It wasn't running on fours. And I'm like, it's not a bear. It's not a bear. We had bears out there. It's not a bear. We had black bears. It's not a bear. It wasn't a mountain lion. Okay, right? What is it? I'm like, what is this? And like, as soon as I got down to the thought process of what it could be, I heard it crash out the clear. Right? And I'm like, what is this? I turn the camera to look at it, and you hear running directly at me, full speed, stop directly in front of me about 5 feet. Right? I'm in through the camera. You can't see it. I could see it clear as day. And I'm looking at it. I said, I have no fear of you. I have no fear of you. You cannot touch me. But that thing ran directly in front. That's what I know as a skinwalker. That's exactly what this was. And what led up to this, by the way, was a week prior to that, I was mowing. I was mowing the lawn, but John Deere tractor. Those are very loud, right? The riding lawnmower. I heard a woman scream clear as day. Loud as could be. It was in minutes, my wife, right? They mimic the last person that you would talk to. So, and of course, if I hear somebody screaming, I'm going to go see if you need help, right? So I heard where it came from out this clearing, walked through it. As soon as I did, I felt the shift of energy. Just it was dead energy. Like it, you want to just talk about sick, instant, just smell of just rotted flesh. It smelled like that. And I saw it clear as day standing in front of me. It reminded me for viewers that are like our age, a little bit older, the movie Predator that was back in the day where it's camouflage. That's how it looked. I could see it. It was about 8 to 10 feet tall, standing directly in front. I said, okay, I see you. And then 3 days later, my wife heard a male scream. It was mimicking men. I said, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I need to move this off my property because I knew exactly what was going to happen. And that experience alone, I've dealt with many cases with skinwalkers now. That was a case that changed a lot for me was that because when you deal with that in a personal versus what you hear people saying, oh, there's skinwalker ranch or these cryptids, there's these things like this, right? When you experience personally, you go, okay, like these things are absolutely real. I've dealt with those. I had another experience where my wife had gotten spiritually attacked, and that was one of the most severe ones that I had seen. Um, it was bad. It was like a month of just, and the pinnacle of that was I was on the phone. This was at the farm again. Once again, this is at the farm. A lot of this stuff happened at the farm with cleansings. That got me to where I'm at now. And I heard her faintly scream my name. I could barely hear her. And when I walked in and looked, she was bruised from the top of her head down to her feet. Bruised. She had a footprint on the side of her face. She told me she got kicked. Like I kid you not, man. It was one of that. That there was when okay, you got to do something. Like this is not. This isn't gonna stop. The only way it's gonna stop is once she's not here. Basically, that's how it was gonna stop. And I had to do a whole blessing of the land again, and I had to do a cleansing on her. And that thing came at me multiple different times. It tried choking me while I was doing the cleansing for her. It scratched me multiple times. Like these things, but that's meant to cause fear. I didn't have fear of any of it. No fear of any of it. No fear of any of it. You can't afflict me. You can't harm me. But those things instantly set in that these things, one, are very real. And very two, the only way to get rid of them is through source. It's not me as the person removing these things. And I explain this to everybody. I am just a person just like you. My name's Nathan. I have not this just all of a sudden I can move demons, right? When I speak though, your voice is utilized as the gift from God to be able to let you speak what is needed. And when I do cleansings, source, my father's guides, whatever you want to talk, creator universe, that's who speaks through me. It's not myself speaking, it's their words going through me. That's what removes them. It's not me removing it. And I make sure to make that distinction very clear to people because you have a lot of people think, oh, you're just a person doing this. What makes you? That's an ego thing. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with all glory to the Most High. And I'm grateful to be a vessel where I can utilize my voice to help those. But that changed everything. After that, cleansings is something that I started doing. I've done 2,500 cleansings now in 4 years for 2,500 different individuals, from kids, full on possessions, to the elderly, to dealing with thought forms or egregores, which, by the way, people create those a lot themselves. They don't understand that. A lot of times, people, when they deal with attachments, right, they go, who's hexing me? How many times do you see people, oh, somebody must be sending bad energy to me or black magic, right? Right. Now, here's the question, though, that I always ask you. What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? What do you mean? What are you saying to yourself? Well, I'm hard on myself. I call myself dumb sometimes, or I'm an idiot, or, worse than that, right? But they go, I don't mean it. Every word carries a frequency. It's not just that. The energy that amplifies it is the emotion that you're feeling in that moment. That's a key. So if we are tearing ourselves down, right? And the emotion behind it is anger, frustration, sadness, fear, you're amplifying that times 100 in that frequency. Does it make sense? That's how so many people get attachments. It's not from people cursing them, hexing them. They start to get into negative environments. And instead of doing things to make them feel better, they just resonate in it. It becomes residual. Then they start to get the thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm the cause of these problems. I deserve all this. That's how it starts. Next thing you know, you start attracting these things in that are a mirror of that frequency. And then life really starts to get chaotic. That's where we come in and help people.
Why do you think people listen to the fear and the lies that they're telling themselves, and how can they get out of it?
That's actually a really good question because fear
Yes.
is the basis of foundation for almost everybody here. See, that's one thing I've learned more than anything. Doesn't matter how spiritually attuned you are or what you've done, we've all had to break from a fear. All of us have. It's not just me or all of us. To get to where we want, we seem to be based off a fear based society. Do we not? Everything from weather going on to this to the wars, to everything is backed with fear. And fear comes from doubt. That's the easiest way to explain this. How do we generate fear? Where does it come from? When the mind cannot process what it is that it's wanting to receive in, all of a sudden, I don't understand. This doesn't make sense to me. That can't be real. That's just bullshit, right? It's a doubt. All of a sudden, that doubt transitions into a fear. I'm not good enough. Why are you not good enough? Oh, that's how I feel. Why do you feel that way? Well, I've been told that. Okay. That's why you've been told that. Okay. I've been told it all my life. Okay. You're not them. They're not you. First and foremost. One thing I had to learn that myself. They think you are not them. They are not you. You are not who they wanted you to be. You're not them. Find who you are. I started to question everything. How many times though, and especially as a child, I would question everything. They would tell you, you're a problem. You're a problem. You're a problem. No, question absolutely everything. Do not just be given what's given to you and go, yep, this is it. Does it resonate on a soul level for you? Do you feel it when you receive it? No, then it's not it. Question it. You'll know. You'll feel it. And you go, that resonates. Oh, I can feel it in my core. But people aren't taught limitations are nonsense. We are in a world of limitations placed upon you for no other reason but to keep you stuck and tethered. That's it. That's it. Once we realize you're not limited, the only limited beliefs are your own. That is it. And when you realize that you can receive everything that you're wanting to receive in, you have all the ability of shifting everything. Would you do it? Absolutely. But how many times have people explained how to? They're not. They're just told, get over it. Like, well, all right, that doesn't work. Like, just get over it. What do you mean? But instead, you have to be able to confront that fear head on and understand this is a self construct that you made yourself of a fear. Why do you fear this? Go to the root of it. Why do I have a fear of this? Well, I went through an experience in my childhood, or I went through this in my life. There you go. That's the root. Boom. There we go. Now we identified it. Is it a time to break it? And then they go, oh my God, I can breathe. Oh my God, it's like a weight off my shoulders. I feel like a new person because you are a new person. You're not that old version of you. Look at the parts of you from 10 years ago. Look at who you were. Look at who you were just 7 years ago. Look at who you were 5 years ago. Look at who you were a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago now. Look at the change. Look at the change. And when it's in a positive, the change comes from what? Breaking the fear. Breaking through the fear, and replacing it with what? Unconditional love, authenticity. That's also key that makes so much of people have a fear of being authentically them more than anything. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be outcasted. I want to have approval. When you step into the spiritual path specifically, that is the last thing you're seeking for validation externally. Those that do that will fail. That's all ego. There's nothing separate from it. We are not here to look for validation to be like, oh, we're doing an amazing job. Thank you. No, thank you for helping me implement what I needed to change my life. That's why we're here, not to go, look at me, give me plaques, give me awards. That's not why we're here. We are here to truly change and create a foundation for those that are willing to truly create and build off of that. And when they do, it changes their entire life. Amen, brother.
Amen to that. Our viewers just got some serious knowledge. Thanks for laying that down. That was beautiful. You guys definitely need to follow Nathan Tarot Reader on YouTube and on TikTok. All right. So now I personally got to experience one of your cleansings the other night for free. He helped everybody out on his live for free and he did a cleansing and it was about 20, 30 minutes probably. And it made me feel, I mean, I don't wanna say cleansed, but obviously very clean, just very free. I'm already living that way, but it was very wonderful to have that experience with you, and that's gonna jump into my next question, which is, people hear the word cleansing and have strong reactions. What does cleansing mean to you personally?
Spiritual cleansing. So, and a cleansing is not just going to be, let's just say, on a spiritual level as well. It's going to be also for emotional, be for physical, and spiritual. All of the above. Spiritual cleansings are what I like to do. And a lot of times when people are afflicted with, let's say, illness, and I'm not just talking about a random cold. I'm talking about people going to the doctor. They go, Doc, I'm dealing with this type of pain. I'm dealing with these symptoms. And then they run tests and they go, there's nothing wrong with you. Really, there's nothing wrong with them, or you're not equating that they're dealing with a very lower frequency that is causing these issues for them. These are psychosomatic symptoms where they're just making this up in their head. They are feeling this, they are having this go on. But when you have doctors, like I said, they go from a logical, analytical standpoint. So when they run these tests, come back, you're in no pain, right? Spiritual cleansings, I've had hundreds of them where people are like that. They're not in pain, no more pain. They're not in any of that. It's removing these frequencies that are knotted in. It's just like when you have a knot in a muscle, right? You have to work that knot out. If not, you're going to continually have soreness. You're going to have pain. You're going to have problems that are going to occur out of that. Same thing with what I do, but on the spiritual side. You have spiritual knots all throughout your body. I'm going to go through and remove them one after another. It will be painless. It's not like the movies, by the way. When people hear spiritual cleansings, right? They automatically go, oh, the exorcist. You're going to be crawling on a wall. Your head's going to be spinning 360, speaking in some way. That's not ever happened. Okay. I've had sometimes where I've had individuals where they would speak in tongues, as people would say it. I know it as a different type of language. There are certain things where people speak in tongues. There's different types of forms of rhetoric of language that comes through. I've had that happen. That's a normal thing. If you have something that is attached to the person that's channeling through them, that can happen. It's not what people think it is, though. You're not gonna feel pain. You're not going to feel this just negative. It's a freeing, liberating moment for you. It's not like, and that's where I've had a lot of people come to me and they go, Nathan, I was 14 or 15 years old. I was diagnosed bipolar, and my family thought I had a demon. So they took me to the church and they had an exorcism performed on me. It was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. And a lot of things that I've seen through people doing these exorcisms, right? They generate it through fear. How are you removing something when you're causing a fear upon somebody? How is that removing anything of the negative? You're not. You're strengthening it. Just because you're in the church does not mean that it's holy. This is what I tell people all the time. And I see that. And what I do, one, it's very comfortable. I explain everything, and it's through prayer. One, very specific prayer that I do. And you will feel it release while we do this. Now, I see it exactly as I see you. Okay. It's like having two TVs on. I see the person, and then it's like I see exactly what's going on the spiritual side with it. And then afterwards, I go through and explain exactly what it was doing. And they go, oh my God, everything is a yes. I go, how do you feel now? I can breathe. And a lot of the times, for those of us that have dealt with something like that in a negative for a long time, right? I always explain this to them. I say for the first week or two, it's going to feel weird to you. Things are going to go good. They're going to go good. And a lot of times people are used to things going terrible. They're not used to things going well. And usually when things do go well, it's like, okay, when's it going to go bad now? Right. I know personally myself, when I broke my attachment at 30 years old, I looked for it for 3 weeks. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Say my goodbyes to brother, do not realize it's gone. Yes, breathe. It's like, because that became a comfort blanket, even though it was in a negative. I knew it was always there. It was, and a lot of us deal with that. So, like I always tell people, when you break from that, get ready to have life actually happen good for you. And the other question I have from people that ask me, they go, can these attachments come back? Right? This is a very valid question. That specific attachment with that individual will not come back to that again. No, it's gone. However, I always tell them, if you get into a 3 or 4 week period of time where you're angry, sad, anxiety, fear, anything of a negative like that, and you stay in that, you're going to attract something else to you. It's not a maybe, it's not a, oh, no, you will. You're going to attract something else to you. Does that mean that it's going to be as severe? It could be less, or it could be worse. I will say, out of all the things I've done, I've had two individuals come back to me because of the environment they went and lived in
Mhm.
afterwards. Very bad. They ended up having it ever since then. I've not had anybody. It's one cleansing, that's it. Cleansings, and here's the thing for anybody listening as well, if you are ever come across somebody and they're like, hey, I can do a cleansing for you, okay? And they tell you you need multiple sessions, they tell you you need to buy items, they tell you any of this stuff, you need to run away from them immediately, okay? It's not multiple sessions. My cleansings are one session, 1 hour. That's all it takes. That is it. That is it. You don't need to buy any special items. You don't need to do anything. You purchase a service, you sit down with me, and I go through everything with you. That's it. It is not where you have to go run through hoops and do all these different things. And I cannot stress that enough. So, for if any of y'all have had people offer out to y'all, they're like, hey, we need to do a spiritual cleansing or whatever it may be. And that, no, don't do it. It doesn't feel right. And that's the other thing. If it doesn't feel right to you, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it.
How much do you charge for your cleansings? And can you also explain that you do this over Zoom,
Yep. I've
right?
done over Zoom and I've done in person as well. I'll share a story with you about it in person one in
Yeah.
just a second. But I do them over Zoom. I've had people in Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, London, you name it, all over the world. And what I do is I do it on Zoom, and my cleansings are only 200. My cleansings, I say this in the most humblest ways. I am the best at what I do in cleansings, and I am the cheapest. And I also have another option. It's a $50 option, which is an as above, so below kit, where it does the same thing for you. The only difference is you are going to do it yourself. I give you everything that you need. You take the shot of blessed water, you read the prayer, and it takes care of it. But a lot of times, if people are afflicted with an attachment themselves, if they have any doubt, I don't know if this is going to work for me. Am I doing this right? I always recommend then sit down with me and let me do it for you. But there's two options because we've always done that. I've always had it where I have a $200 option. I'm trying to make it affordable for everybody. And then I was like, if they don't have this, because I understand, here's a $50 option. And I've also gifted out cleansings for free. If I know somebody is very much struggling and I'm going to help you. Like, it's not going to be, all right, well, you need to save up and you need, no, there's none of that. I am here for servitude. I am not here to just go, well, you can't pay that. Oh, well. Right. So my cleansings are 200 and on Zoom. And like I said, I sit down with you for an hour and I explain everything. And I will go through everything that we do. And people sit there and go, I don't know how you do this, but I feel 1,000 times different. It's not what I do. It's what Source does when they speak through. That's it. I'm merely a branch off of the tree. And I am so grateful for that. And that's why I do. And here's the thing, if you would ask me 5, 6 years ago, Nathan, do you see yourself doing cleansings? I would have told you no, probably over and over and over again. Because I was like, when I did my first cleansing on Zoom, by the way, I asked myself the same question. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Right? Like my human mind was going, What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And my guides, my fathers go, breathe, do exactly as we showed you. Okay, read this prayer. Okay, speak the language that you know to speak when we tell you. Okay, see how it goes. It was amazing. And it started all from there. And like I said, it is word of mouth more than anything spread with everything. These people like, I have people tell, they reach out all the time. Nathan, you helped a friend of mine that's family member was for Nathan. You helped somebody that I knew that somebody knew. Like it's how it's been going. So that's perfect. And talking of like physical healings, right? Personally, for me, that's way easier. Way easier. Way easier. You let me put one hand on you and I can pray for you. 5 minutes. Amazing, right? Like, for example, I had a gentleman that was at Walmart, right? And he was a homeless individual. And he came up to me and started speaking to me. And he was just like, I knew he had a severe attachment, like a very bad attachment. And I just really asked him, can I pray for you? Can I pray for you? Right. And he goes, please. And we're in Walmart. Okay. I'm like, and I'm trying to make this where it's very much just not a lot of people looking at me. I didn't want to draw attention to anything, like just very honestly. And I prayed for him for 5 minutes and I removed it for him. Right. He looked at me and he goes, who are you? I'm Nathan, man. He goes, no, who are you? I said, I'm Nathan. And he kept saying it and it was getting a little louder. Right. He goes, you're an angel. I'm like, I'm Nathan. I said, and like people, he's like, I don't know what you just did. But he goes, when you touched me, I felt it, man. He goes, I don't know what I've never felt that before. I don't know what you did. He goes, thank you. Like I have goosebumps on it. I'll never forget that. And I've done it with multiple people. I just don't go around telling them, hey, I'm going to remove an attachment for you, a demon, or whatever it may be that's going on. Because one, I don't want to have them have any attention brought to them that they're not needing. They're already getting judged. They're already having these things going on in their life. The last thing they need is to have attention like that brought to them. And it, it never gets old, man. It is the most satisfying soul feeling for me is to be able to truly help somebody break from something that's afflicted them their entire life that has truly navigated their life in that way that when they break from that and then you see them a month later, 6 months later, a year later, their entire life changed. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. Everybody deserves that chance, man. Everybody deserves that chance.
I'm pretty sure that we're brothers from another mother.
I told you, man.
I'm sure. So, Nathan, for people that, don't know you, how do you worship? Like, how do you celebrate God? How do you celebrate Jesus? How do you celebrate it with your family? Do you go to church? I just want to for so people can kind of feel you
Oh,
and how you support yourself with that.
prayer, number one, my faith is everything. Without my faith, I'm nothing. And as I've always said, with my fathers, I'm everything. Without them, I am nothing. I am that I am, which means all glory goes through to the Most High. There is nothing, if I do this just individually with that separation, I'm nothing. Nothing. However, all glory goes to the Most High when I'm able to sit there and nurture that relationship. It's like I said, God to me, source, creator, right? I love Yeshua. Jesus, as people know him, I know him as Yeshua, and I love him dearly. He was an amazing soul that truly died for our sins, one. And also on top of that as well, what he truly taught and what he was teaching was the key of all keys, how to liberate yourself freely and fully from what was tethering you and keeping you completely contorted and binded. Um, and I've always had a faith, but I never knew how do I pray? How do I have a conversation with God? How do I do this? Right? I just have a normal conversation. I wake up every morning and the first thing I say is, Father, thank you for letting me have another day. Thank you for another blessed day. I already know it's going to be an amazing day because I'm here. I already know it. Whatever you have for me, allow it to come into my path if it's meant for me. Allow me to have the discernment, the wisdom, the knowledge to help those who are there for the right reasons. Allow me to make an impact, not for myself only, but for those that come across me. Guide me. And I've always known that with my faith, nothing will stop me. It's whenever it's all of ego or oneself, just the selfish greed, envy, all these things, man, you lose everything. Just like that. Especially when it comes into anything when you are working with spiritual or you're working with building a relationship, man. Sources, you have all ability to have a beautiful life. We tear it down most of the times ourselves. There's always external factors, of course, where the things can happen you don't have a control of. But I would say A lot of the time we do it ourselves. And then we go, I've been praying. I've been praying. God's not listening to me. I go, how do you pray? Well, I'm in pain. God, help this, take this pain. God, take this pain away. Or God, I might be going to jail. God, please don't let me go to jail. I won't do this. Right. But instead, what I like to pray, instead of then me going and asking, begging, pleading, you're not going to get an answer that way. They're not going to hear you. It's not going to be met because you don't believe in what you're asking. Hmm. Faith that works is dead. And on top of that as well, when you pray, as I pray, Fathers, I am healthy. I am healed. I am abundant full. I am love. I am light. I receive it now. That is prayer that is received, that is heard. Oh, you're not asked. You already know it's yours. Now you're claiming it. There you go. Like I said, man, when you claim it, it's yours. But how many times do we feel we're not worthy enough? We feel we're not good enough, especially when it comes to asking source, God, whatever you want to call it, can I have this? They'll tell you, why do you ask, my son? Why do you ask, my daughters, when it's there for you to receive? Amen.
Amen to that. How do you teach your children about God and Jesus?
My children absolutely love Jesus, which they love watching about Jesus. And on top of that, I always teach them, do for others what you want to do for you. There was an amazing, amazing soul named Jesus who was here and he saved all of us to be able to be here to this day. And what he did is he led by example. He helped those that people thought were weird, were no good, that people would sit there and make fun of. He would be that protector for them. He would be that one that would take them in. And not only that, he did miracles. He did things for people that were sick. He would touch them with one hand on their shoulder or pray for them. They wouldn't be sick. Those that were blind or couldn't see, all of a sudden could see. Those that would have just diseases or afflictions, all of a sudden they're healthy. They're able to be good. And they go, Jesus did that. Yeah. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing person and soul. And he's worth every single one of us. All you have to do is say, Jesus, I love you. Are you with me? He's with you every time. Have no fear. Whenever you feel fear, call on Jesus, call on God. And my children know that very well. My children, they have a very innate belief of God and source. They're very gifted. But they see spirit. They see just like dad and mom do. However, we don't embellish it for them. We don't sit there and go, hey, start tapping into this and all that. No, that's not for them yet. It's having an understanding of it so you don't have the fear of it. But that's where it comes in. Call on Jesus. Call on your angels. And as it does, the angels are beautiful. Absolutely. Faith is very prominent for me, man. Like it is instills one morals and ethics into you. It also instills a foundation into you. And it instills do for others what they can't do for themselves. Be that light, be the voice of the voiceless, be the change, be the difference. It's like that braces all the time. What would Jesus do, right? Literally, what would Jesus do in this situation? Do you think he would sit back and just watch and be filming people? No, be the change, be the difference, be the light.
Fantastic. As we are going out of 2025 and into 2026, what is your focus with your work and what are you super excited about for 2026?
2026 is going to be an amazing year. I know that this is going to be a year where speaking engagements, conventions, things of the sort where people are going to want me to be at I know that's going to happen. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to a clothing line that I have coming out that is going to be specifically for what I stand for. For example, like I for on the back of my sweaters or on my hoodies, like clothing on the men clothing. On the back though will be if nobody's told you, just know that I'm very proud of you. That and alone in itself, you could be in a line having the worst of worst days, man. Just like God, I need a sign. I need a sign. And then you read that. Cool. That's that's something that I've had in mind for like 3 years. I got my logo exactly how I want it. I had everything, didn't rush it. Had this idea this whole time, and now that's gonna come into fruition well. But I, more than anything, would love to be doing retreats, having people that either hosting retreats that are looking for somebody to either come host, do healings, do meditations, whatever it may be. I would absolutely love to do that. Speaking engagements. I think that is going to be something that's going to be very big for me as well, being able to truly share everything that I can in ways that people can grasp and understand it. And I know that's going to be something as well. And besides that, more than anything, it's just being open to any opportunities that are presented. That's the one thing I know about this year as well is you can have things, this is what I want to happen, right? This is going to be a year of opportunities opening for many people though. And it's up to you to be able to go, I can do this. That's where that fear comes in, right? There's no fear. There's no fear, man. And I'm telling you, when you have an opportunity that's presented to you, you worked for that to manifest it into your fruition. It's not by chance. It's not by luck. It's not by any of that. It's been divinely correlated for you into alignment. Do you see that? That's the difference. How many times we go, I'm not good enough. It's a year of making big changes, man, in a positive. Absolutely.
Fantastic. I love that. Are you accepting clients right now, Nathan? And what kind of support do you offer after the fact? Or I know you said like most of your cleansings, you've been very successful.
Absolutely. So I absolutely take services nonstop. I am usually booked out with readings, sometimes 4 to 6 days in advance. However, I do 2 to 3 private sessions a day. So I get people in and out. We also have an Etsy shop, which our Etsy shop is Spiritual Boundaries. It's bounding with no A, BOUNDRIES. There is everything from tinctures, which if anybody's in intense pain or anything of the sort, we have one called Bye Bye Inflammation on there. It has done wonders for everybody from plantar fasciitis to having dislocated, or not dislocated, excuse me, ruptured discs to having shoulder problems, exit, you name it. It has done wonders. And then also on top of that as well, do I ever have after cleansing? I always leave my door open to have people. I always say, please keep me updated within the next couple of days instantly. How are things going? What's happening? And I've always said that my door's always if I do any type of private session for you, you are more than welcome to email me. You are more than welcome to reach out to me. Sometimes I might take a little bit. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Sometimes I take time getting back to emails, not because when I'm not on my phone doing this, I'm off it. I don't want to be on it. I don't want to be around it. I get off it. And so that's one thing that I'm working on is make sure to be more punctual with my responses back to people. But I always make sure that you are able to reach out to me. If you come into my lives, which a lot of them do, you are more than welcome to ask questions to me. Go, Nathan, what do you suggest for this? What should I do? It's not just, hey, you better purchase a service. That's it. No, it's family. This my community is all about family. It is not about you're not a client, you're not a follower, you're not a fan. It's never been that way. You are extended family from the moment you come in. I don't care if it's your first time in there or if you've been in there with me for 4 years, your extended family. And I will give you everything I got, which also means having a door open that you can connect with me and communicate and go, hey, this is what I'm going through right now. What do you suggest? Here you go. I might just be a prayer that I need to give you. It might just be something I'm doing, for example, a cleansing of your home, like a four-cornered blessing, which I have it all written out. I'll email that to you. Just follow it step by step. I do this all the time because it's not always about, and here's the thing. I always tell people this too. You don't need to just come to somebody to get help. Once you've gone and get what you received, it's up to that individual like myself to be able to teach you things. So you don't have to do that anymore. So that when you do have things going on, you know what you're doing, you know how to protect yourself, you know how to do these things. Instead of you having to rely on anybody else. That's the other part of why I do that, is because it's not, I don't want you to keep coming back to me for a cleanse it. I don't. You don't need to. One time. And then I'm going to teach you and give you tools that are going to help you with where you're at. And it's different for everybody. That's why I do that. And it's like I said, it lets people know that you're not just a number. You're not just a client. You're not, no, you're a person, you're a human, somebody I care about, and I will help you. That's where the difference comes in.
Let's finish up with the Etsy shop and some of the products that you have on there, how they're made, who makes them, what they do. Why don't you talk about that a little bit, please?
Absolutely. My wife is the alchemical guru behind all the tinctures and everything. She created everything from scratch. She did not use books. She didn't use any of it. Her guides, same way she would get visions. She would get downloads, as they say, or visions. Probably the easiest way to put it so people understand. She would get visions and they would share, this is what you use. This is how you do it, and this is what it's going to do. And then she would start looking up the ingredients, of course, going through and making sure what her visions were compared to what and it was absolutely correct. And the very first one that she did was bye bye inflammation. That tincture changed everything. That tincture, we have had people that deal with cancer. And I always put this out there as a disclaimer. I don't claim that it cures cancer. There's not a medical backing behind to say this does it. So I've never put that out there. However, people that could eat, that were able to sleep, or in immense pain due to either chemo or radiation, all of that, they would use that tincture. They would be able to eat. They would be able to sleep. They weren't in pain anymore. Then it became people having, like I said, a lot of people with back problems, degenerative disc disease, ruptured discs, or having neck issues, having surgeries, having the backs fused, right? In immense pain. All it is, it's a topical. It's a little, you put a little bit or a lot, whatever you like. You want to lather yourself up in it, you can. But all you, for example, let's say that your shoulder, let's say that you have immense pain in your shoulder, you've taken pain medication, you've done pain management, right? Like stuff not working. And you're having to do stuff and don't like it anymore. You're like, I don't like this. This is not helping me. It's causing me issues. You would apply it right on your shoulder, just rub it in for 2 minutes. It's gone. And you're going to be out of pain for about 3 to 6 hours. Then you apply it back in again. It will start to make it where the inflammation stays gone. There'll be everything's a frequency. And once people are out of pain, you no longer have a frequency that's getting generated in a negative. You're not in pain anymore. You're not sitting there creating that. So that tincture did everything. The beautiful thing about all these, don't take my word for any of this. For any of y'all listening, check the reviews yourself on our Etsy shop. There's 2,500 reviews. It's a 5-star shop. Please look through them yourself because people that utilize these products have put down exactly what they experience on. It's not me telling you, yeah, this is it. No, I want you to go see it for yourself. But we also have tinctures that help you sleep at night. If you're having nightmares, night terrors, we have stuff that stops that. We have stuff to align your chakras from your root up to your crown. We have all custom enchanted bracelets that we do. Oh, we do pendulums, we do everything. And my wife is the one who generated all of them. She is absolutely incredible what she does. She uses all natural products. There's no alcohol in any of the tinctures at all. At all. It's all oil. It's all natural, all holistic healing. You can, if you put some in your mouth, chance it doesn't taste great, but it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to do anything of the sort. It's all natural. And a little bit goes a very long way. And the beautiful thing is, say if you had a question about Dathan, well, I don't know what I need. I'm dealing with this or that. You are more than welcome either to message on the Etsy shop or you can message me on TikTok and I can absolutely recommend just what you need. We don't ever over recommend. There's no reason of doing that. You need just one thing. That's all you need. You don't need three, four. It's not like the businesses where you need to do add-ons. No, this is what you need. This will do exactly that. Here you go. And we also, for anybody else listening to, we have a giveaway that we're doing this week with our shop as well. So if you purchase just one thing from the shop, just one, give you $10 for it, right? You're in for a private reading giveaway, which is a $100 to $200 service, which is an hour session on Zoom. And it'll be your choice of whichever one. We're going to do that during the live Friday night. So we do giveaways all the time too. That's the other thing we do. We do giveaways. It's important, man. If you have people giving to you, you have all ability to give back. Do you not? That's what we do.
What's the name of your Etsy shop?
Spiritual and boundaries, all one word. And spiritual, exactly as it's spelled, boundaries without the A after the BOUND, no A. So it'd be BOUNDRIES, spiritual boundaries.
And do you want to drop an email maybe for people to email you?
So my email, you can absolutely, if you reach out on spiritual boundaries, or you can reach out to me, PLANGE, P Lang 0115 at Gmail. That is mine. Or you can also send me a message on TikTok as well. I would say probably email me because on TikTok, it's they filter a lot of stuff and it's a lot. But on email, yes, absolutely. Please reach out to me, especially if you have questions or if you go, Nathan, I'm dealing with these things. I don't know what to do. What do you suggest? Absolutely. Please reach out because there is a solution. It's not just a problem with no answer. We don't deal with that here. There's always a solution.
Fantastic. As we leave this podcast, if there's just one person that you could speak to right now that's just they just don't see the light, what would you say to them?
Absolutely. Number one, very proud of you. More than anything, very proud of you. You're still here in this moment. The darks are the moments that you've been through, the times you've been abused, the times you felt outcasted, no good, unworthy, might not want to be here, might feel weak, broken. You're none of that. You are the furthest thing from weak. You are love, you are light, you are strength, you are worthy. If nobody tells you, I would tell you every single day, or others will, you'll notice. I'm very proud of you. Be very proud of yourself. Understand that you're here for a reason. Understand you're here for a purpose. Understand that you matter more than anything. You matter, regardless of what anybody's told you. You are not them. They are not you. And what better time in the current moment of now to have that change?
I feel so grateful and blessed to be having this conversation with you and being able to spend this time with you. It's been truly amazing. And with that, you guys, we're going to finish up this podcast. Please follow Nathan Lang. Check out his Etsy store. Follow him on TikTok and YouTube. Nathan Tarot Reader. So, with that, Coach Cary, finding your higher consciousness, and we're going to sign off.
Hi, y'all.